your own conferencing service, the conference entry code you entered is invalid. Please try again.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got so many people clicking in this morning. We've had to mute out the background noise already for the call. So we will be getting underway in about another 60 seconds, but I would like to welcome everybody. Please make sure to have pen and paper ready. What we'll be doing this morning is just going over some of the key things that are important for us as we are getting going in the business. We want to make sure that we're being effective with our time. And so what we do every Saturday morning is we do a fast start training outline for you in the business. Obviously, the vast majority of the help for you is going to come from your sponsor and your knowledgeable upline. But every week we do like to have somebody that has already gone through and been successful in the business to just outline some of the things that are really important for us all to keep in mind as we're starting to build our business. And so that's what we do every Saturday morning. Being that it's the top of the hour, I will get right underway here. The call is probably going to take the better part of 45 minutes. I would like to make sure that you've got a pen and paper handy. This is a very, very simple business. It's something that if you have reached the age of majority in your state or province, regardless of who you are, your background, you are able to build a business with this company. And that's one of the things that makes this so exciting is the fact that anybody from anywhere can literally take control of their own financial well-being and, quite frankly, build an income that will be the envy of almost anybody, because really the only thing that limits your ability to earn money in this business is your imagination. That is really the only limiting factor. Every single person on the line this morning has got exactly the same compensation plan. We all have exactly the same product line. We all have exactly the same corporate staff and infrastructure that we can use. So really, what it boils down to, success in this business boils down to just how teachable you are as an individual and exactly what you do during the day. So we want to make sure that you're going to have the best possible time with the company. And so what we're going to do over the next 45 minutes is just literally lay it out for you in as simple fashion as we possibly can so that you can get started and be successful in the business. Now, a lot of us come into the business a lot of different ways. Most of us obviously find out about the business from a friend. Someone gives us a call, tells us to look at some information. We do. We obviously have some questions that need to get answered, and as they get answered, we start into the business. Pretty much everybody starts that way. Some of us would have come into the business with maybe a product focus. The product has maybe done something for us that we just can't even believe. We're very, very excited about the product, and so we feel that this is something that we can go out and share with other people so that other people can get the same benefit from using the product line. And that's very true. We've got other people that join that see the earning opportunity right off from the start, and while they understand it's a great product line, they instantly start from an income standpoint and go out there and develop a business. Now, it's very important. If you're interested in building a large income, and by a large income, I mean a full-time income. You don't have to make millions and millions of dollars in this, although obviously you can if you want. But it is important, if you are wanting to make a large income, something that will be a sole source of income for you, it's very, very important that you understand what you've got to do to make it. So I want to start off this morning's training by just making sure that we all understand what the concept is of the business that we're in. This is not actually, in network distribution, network distribution is not a business of selling product. That is not the primary focus of what we all do as distributors. distribution network, our job as distributors is to build a customer database for the company. The company's name is Zija. Our job is to go and collect up the people that Zija will sell to on an ongoing basis. And for that, what Zija does every week is they cut us a paycheck that is based on what those people actually purchase. So the concept of success, or to how to gain success in this business, really doesn't stem from how good of a salesperson you are. You could be an absolutely lousy salesperson and still generate a lot of success in network distribution. This is not about you personally selling the product. Now, please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Of course, you can sell the product. Anybody can. But the key thing, if you're looking to get a large income, you're going to have to develop a lot of customers. It's as simple as that. You need to develop hundreds, if not thousands, of customers for Zija. If you want the little pieces of money coming back from those customers to add up to a large income for you, you'll need hundreds, if not thousands, of customers. Now, how can you go and get hundreds or thousands of customers yourself? Well, the answer is you probably can't. It's very difficult. So what you're going to need is a group of helpers or business partners to help you go and get a very large number of people. Now, this does not mean that you cannot sell the product to somebody that you know. Obviously, that happens all the time. We have a lot of people that are so excited about the product, they routinely sell the product out to people that they meet and people that they know. Nothing wrong with that, but the key thing we have to understand is, as I said, if you want to get lots of money on a residual money, that's money that comes in after you've done a job one time. And that's the beauty of network distribution, is the fact that when we get a customer established for the company, that customer purchases the product every single month. You don't have to go back and do anything else for that particular customer, because once they are buying the product themselves, they just routinely will order it every single month. And so you do the job one time, you get them started that one time, but now every month that they purchase, the company will send you a piece of money based on the purchase that that customer made. So you do the job one time, but you can get paid for it every single month thereafter. And that is what we call residual income. Doing something one time and getting paid for it every month thereafter. All of the people that have generated huge financial success the world over have all been able to figure out a way to do something one time and get paid for it over and over and over. And that is the fundamental principle that network distribution is all about. It's really all about time leverage for you. Now, for those of us that are familiar with real estate, we've probably all heard the term other people's money. A lot of people in real estate these days use other people's money. They use the bank's money to buy real estate. They don't use their own. Why is that? Well, because their own financial resources are limited. So they use other people's money. We call it OPM. In this industry, your own time is very limited. You can only work 40 or 50 or 60 hours a week. So the only way that you can get paid more is if you find more time. So in this industry, we use other people's time, OPT, other people's time. It only makes sense that if you build a team of 500 or 1,000 people who are all following a simple, duplicatable system, and we'll get to that in a second, but if you've got a group of 500 or 1,000 people, and now you're being paid on the collective production of the entire team, well, if you were working by yourself, you could work 40 or 50 or 60 hours a week, but that would be about it. If you've got 1,000 people that are your business partners, even if they all just put in 1 hour a week themselves, if you're getting paid on 1 hour of production from a group of 1,000 people, now you're actually getting paid on 1,000 hours of production every week. I want you to think about where you're working at the moment. If this last week you had got paid on 1,000 hours of work, even at the wages you're currently making, would you have had a good week? I think you'll agree with me that yes, you would have had a fantastic week. Well, that's exactly the reason why a lot of people get paid a lot of money in this business. It's not because they're necessarily superstars themselves. They have just learned a very simple system that helps them to bring other business partners in so that they can have a very large pool of helpers or other people helping them get the collection of customers they need to make a full-time income. So the whole concept of this business is not selling product. The concept of network distribution is that of establishing a customer network for DJ. And you might be sitting there saying, well, hang on a second, Phil, someone has to be selling this product. Who on earth is selling the product? Well, we get paid on the movement of product. So it's not about whether you can sell the product, it's about whether someone else can buy it. We get paid on the movement of product. The product moves from Zija out to the end user, out to the end consumer. And guess what? Yeah, some of those people do sell the product as well, which is great, but that's going to be onesies and twosies. You need to build a very large, robust, and efficient group of distributors so that you can be responsible for the company gaining hundreds, if not thousands, of customers. That's where you get your big income from. So that was the first thing that we have to cover this morning, is just the concept of the business. The product is absolutely spectacular. It really is. If it's not for the product that we've got, we don't even really have a business. We have got quite frankly, a world-changing product. The problem you're going to have, though, is if you start off going out there to talk to different people, you know that the subject of the documentary that we'll talk about was the miracle tree. Well, if you go out there and start talking to people about a miracle tree and start letting people know all the different things that are in it, and it's a magic plant and all the rest of it, a lot of the people that you know are going to start rolling their eyes. They're going to look sideways. What on earth are you talking about? They're going to say things like, well, look, I've heard all this kind of stuff before. There's lots of different companies out there. What's so special about your particular plant? Everyone says they've got a magic plant from somewhere. You're all of a sudden going to find yourself on a slippery slope where you're going to be arguing backwards and forwards with people about why your plant is better than everybody else's. So that's not a good way to go when you're looking to establish your business. What we want to do this morning is to teach you one of the fundamental principles of network distribution, which is the art of multiplication. Now, if you're going out there as a salesperson trying to sell the product yourself, that's what we call adding customers by addition. You go out and make a pitch, you get one customer. You make another pitch, you get another customer. But the art of multiplication is that if you teach a couple of people a very simple system that they can follow, then they in turn can go and teach a couple of other people the very same system. And as those people teach two other people, now we've got a multiplier in there that's 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, and now the numbers start to expand geometrically. That will have a very large organization of people put together in a relatively short period of time, which is why after 2 years in the business, I literally have thousands of people that I'm being paid on a weekly basis. It's not because I'm a fantastic person, it's because I command a very large team. Well, how on earth did I get the large team? Well, how we build a large team is, first of all, we have to put a story together. Because really what we are in this business is paid storytellers. We have to be able to tell people intelligently about us. And so that's one of the first things, if you're taking notes this morning, right? Apart from realizing that we have to establish a distribution network this morning, one of the key things that I want you writing down is your story. Because that's the first thing that you've got to get down. Now, one of the easiest ways to develop a good story is to start off listening to the story of the person that enrolled you into the business. Because they already have a story. So as you're putting your own story together, what you're going to be using is your upline's story. Okay, we're going to be getting to how we use that as we go through the call. But it's your upline story that is going to be the most important part of this as we get going. What are the component pieces of your story? Well, obviously, we want to start off. You always want to tell people your background because you're looking for a place of common ground with the different people that you're talking to. You want to let people know, look, this is me, this is my background, and also let them know why you wanted to get started in the business. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to be talking this morning about establishing a business. Am I going to be telling you how to be a good product salesperson? No, I'm not really, because being an individual salesperson yourself is not duplicatable. You may have the gift of the gab, which is fantastic. But you know what? Your success in this business is not going to come from what you are physically able to do. It's going to come from what your team of people can do. The team of people, that is the thing that's going to create the residual income for you. And obviously, you're going to be doing stuff yourself, but you've got to make sure that the team of people you're putting together knows exactly what to do and how to do it. So the whole point of this is how to build a large and successful team. And so when you're getting your story started, you're giving people your background and the motivation that you got rolling in the business. And it might have been because the product was so fantastic. There's nothing wrong with that. You want to tell people how you got started and what you did. You want to make sure to tell people your results. Okay, so it's important to have a good story. Now, if you've got a great product story, you want to keep it short, because while that story would be very exciting for you, it's not really going to be that exciting for somebody else, because they may not have the malady that you had that was corrected by having a good diet using the Moringa oleifera, obviously, that we've got in our product line. So you want to keep it short. One of the other things that you want to do is make sure, as you're telling people that your story, you address one of the concerns that they may have as they're listening to you tell your story.